What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is Dumperino Day. We're a little bit early. It's actually Tuesday, the 11th of the 11th, which is for many people, Armistice Day. So I know Veterans Day in the US, Armistice Day here in the UK. So shout out to all the people that have served in our military before. Shout out to those people. I absolutely have not done that. So big shout out to all those people. But yeah, I mean, bad day. Bad day, actually. Bad day. And for a number of reasons, we'll talk about why it is. But even I think at this moment in time, cannot put a bullish stance on what's going on. The only thing I can give you is, I think I know why, and I'm not happy about it. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into what's going on with the market. I've got a ton of stuff to share with you, charts, analysis, as well as kind of, I guess, why the markets are doing what they're doing, outside of the fact that 100% they are being manipulated right now. 100%. 100%. And I'm going to show you why and who. Answers in the chat if you think you know who it is. But we'll sort of get into it. Casey, thanks for the heart me's. Don't forget, get your heart me's in, get your likes in. Massively supports the channel, boosts us up in the old algorithm. We want to try and get in here, look, League D1. We need to get into League C4, which would be great. So if we can do that, hopefully we can start to move up. And likewise, if you're here on YouTube as well, do me a quick favor, hit the thumbs up. Also, tap that like and subscribe if you're brand new here. We're going to talk all about the markets. But I want to start probably just being, well, just where we are, which is here. Look at this. This is a fucking disaster. A disaster, as usual. You know, 2 solid days of green candles. You're like, okay, here we go. Like, we're starting to see a little bit of uptrend. No reason. Well, not really a reason for the markets to dump today. Like, not really. If you think about it, it's not like we've had bad news. It's not like we've had like, oh, well, you know, massive like capitulation events. Nope, just literally the markets just dumped. After wicking up to about 107, markets felt really optimistic. And, you know, then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, we're just going to sell everything throughout the day because why not? Completely eradicating all of these moves from previously bullish sentiment. And it just resets everything. And everyone's like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, what a disaster. The only one that I knew was going to come back down, by the way, was Zcash. I told you guys to watch out for that. Double digits. This is the crazy thing about this push down in the market right now, is you've got some altcoins that are double digit down. Do you know what I mean? You're like, what? Like, how do we go from, oh, everything's kind of looking pretty bullish to double digit down on today? Well, we'll talk about it, right? We're going to get into it. We're going to try and understand what the hell is going on. And equally, what should we be looking at? And I think that's important because there is some macro stuff that we'll talk about and try and understand it. But yeah, today's feels relatively difficult for me to swallow, just FYI. Whether you guys all believe that, whether you guys are like, oh, too bit, you need to shut the hell up. This one doesn't feel great today. And we'll talk a little bit about as to why I think that is and get into all the rest of it. So, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Let me know you're here. I'd appreciate it. Let me know who's in the chat and who wants to get bullish on this, which I think would be great. It will all be gravy soon. Let's hope so. Sammy Silver, profit taken, PTSD, you think? Cheese, what's going on? Good to see you. BlackRock manipulation. 2-bit, we know April 7th, Liberation Day, tariff day, markets dumped hard. If the Supreme Court rules against Trump tariffs, how hard do we fall in your opinion? The reality is they ain't gonna vote on them until next year. So the market will probably be on its downtrend anyway by, I mean, let's say you get the earliest is like April, May, June time. You'd sort of assume on most, even those that predict 2026 being the bull market big, you kind of feel the market's over. But yeah, I mean, don't forget, it'd be like, they reckon it's between $2 and $3 trillion would be the payback. So it'd be pretty hard work, I think, if it came back that way. Again, that's my point yesterday. I just don't think they vote against it personally. That's just my opinion, but again, they could do. Okay, so let's get into a little bit as to what's happened. TikTok, see you in just a minute. There's the chart. We'll look at the 4-hour here. And then, like I said, you've got loads of capitulation on altcoins. So again, you can see here on Ethereum that we are probably going to come back down and retest this range here. On ETH, Solana down 6%. Just totally dumps. Gets rid of all of the last couple of days moving. Cardano look, XRP, even all the bullish news coming with XRP, albeit it hasn't done as bad. Still loads of positives coming for XRP. Still dumps, albeit down to the 20-week moving average, which isn't the worst dump in the world, by the way. Sui down quite significantly. But when you start to get into some of these, ICP, again, continuing to push down. We sort of talked about that. Well, a bit financial. It's kind of up. Aster up about 0.9. good news on those ones. And like I said, a couple of other coins here. Zcash is now continuing, and I absolutely expect this to continue to dump down, by the way. So be mindful if you did trade that. I literally called this and said be absolutely very careful. I thought we might have held at this 460 range. Didn't. My view would be $400 retest down here in the 50 week. So again, look out for Zcash. Hopefully you guys aren't trading that craziness. And then memes, Brett down 10, Bonk down 7. Like it's bad. It's fucking bad. All right. I'm just going to call it as it is. I'm annoyed about the market today. There's no freaking reason for this market to do what it's doing today. No reason at all. That is a good, healthy structure. Broke the 20-week moving average. So you're like, okay, this is kind of good. Retest, break to the push to the upside. Once again, push again. So we got the perfect setup. And then boom, boom, big fat ass red candle. Why? Because these fucking pricks keep selling, right? That's the reality of it. These complete and utter degenerate knobheads keep selling, right? That is just the fact of the matter. And people can tell me whatever they want. Now, here's the caveat. We kind of knew this was coming, right? As much as this is painful. People taking profits? No. I think there's an element of it. I think you've got people that bought the bottom and bought the top. But you are not going to tell me that this isn't going to push the market down. That we saw massive... I mean, look at some of these purchasing 19 hours ago, by the way, which pretty much aligns near enough perfect to the start of actually selling off. And by the way, you can look at it if you go more specifically to the hour and you go back 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is 19 hours ago, right? Call me surprised, right? Call me surprised. It's there. It's at 107. Market's like, and I am going to go somewhere with this, by the way, so don't unsubscribe or anything weird like that. But 19 hours ago puts us absolutely perfect at the next move on the market. Think about it. Asia markets open, so here is midnight. This is the start of the new day. Asia opened and then pushed the markets higher. So we were sort of going into a place of like, holy crap, here we go. Like, yes, breaking key support levels, holding very, very good. And then, like we said, huge selling pressure coming in. These are $30 million sells. $30 million sells, right? Just dumping it into other wallets, getting rid of it, pulling it out of BlackRock, sending it to all these wallets. They absolutely dumped huge amounts of BTC. I don't know what the number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 3, 16, 32, 48. So about $500 million outflow or selling pressure from BlackRock. Now, ask yourself the question, why are BlackRock going to sell when the inflows aren't and haven't been anything like this? Take a look at this. This is the chart. So we know categorically that barring, this kind of move, I guess here, 112 million, $500 million has not gone into BlackRock. So this has to be more... Well, this is either kind of BlackRock themselves actually dumping some of the stuff they hold or really kind of old school, not old school particularly, but older wallets that have held onto these shares for quite some time. So this, again, is just not good, right? It's not good. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's not great at all, actually. I think BlackRock knows the... Do you think... No, here's the problem a little bit with ETFs that no one really wants to admit, but it's fact of life now. The fact of... They own so much Bitcoin, they can literally just dump markets, pump markets, do whatever they want. We've definitely entered in, and as much as people say worst bull market in history, biggest bull run in history, here is my stance on it right now. The most manipulated bull market in history, right? That's my view. Right now, what's going on, Crow Man? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Welcome to all the gang on TikTok. Shout out to you guys. Don't forget, hit that like button and tap the screen a couple of times. Greatly appreciated, by the way. The fact of the matter is now they can basically control what the hell happens. Now, again, when we know that this happens, what is the first place we should go to? The first place we should go to is liquidations to see exactly what's happening. $500,000 of liquidations in the last 24 hours. It's a disgrace, really. It is an absolute disgrace. Now, this is what the Clarity Act is going to solve, and this is why they need to push it through, because... For example, if this was BlackRock deliberately trying to crash the market, or not necessarily crash the market, but, push the market down by removing Bitcoin from supply, blah, 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 doing all that kind of thing, the Clarity Act will allow them to come in, specifically will allow them to go after things like exchanges and all the rest of it. So that's why we're so desperate to get that. Now, you might, and I sort of touched on this the other day, I touched on this the other day and said, well, maybe they're just at it right now because they can. Because when the Clarity Act comes in, it's going to be like, you do it and you could absolutely go prison time. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of thing. You can see here Wintermute doing exactly the same. So the liquidity providers are dumping huge amounts of Bitcoin and moving huge amounts of stablecoin around. So again, look at all this Ethereum, Binance Hot Wallet selling. Again, you can see here, look, just a ton of there is a job going to the BBC apparently. Just a ton of kind of stuff going on right now that is just as shady as you like. Wintermute selling Bitcoin, weirdly, dumping more to wallets. So this is the fact of life right now. Now, there are some other things we need to kind of think about and we need to kind of walk through. But fundamentally, right now, there is no reason this market is selling off. No reason at all. You got the government shutdown about to end. Like Trump himself even announcing that, yeah, we're pretty much clear that we're going to be signing that. So the government shutdown's coming to an end. It's going to release about $1 trillion back into the markets, back into the general, US population. And so then, we predict that we're going to get more rate cuts, etc., etc., etc. The market's like, nah, selling off. That's it. Bull run's over. Like, we're not having this. We're not having this. So it just, again, I've been saying this for a while now. It just feels off. Doesn't make any sense, right? This doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Now, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Potentially, if we get the end of the government shutdown, happy days, that could be a thing. But let's try and look objectively at this, okay? So let's not try and do it with emotion. Let's try and look objectively. Why could we be seeing selling off? Now, one thing to note, by the way, and I didn't show you guys this, but one thing to note is I don't expect to see any further selling from these ETFs tomorrow. Look at asset inflows. Remember, this is about demand versus actual. BlackRock, no movement. So we can kind of almost be like, okay, well, we know BlackRock's probably not going to sell tomorrow. Fidelity's going to buy a little bit. Grayscale doing about the same, cancel each other out. Generally speaking, pretty flat in the ETF markets tomorrow is the expectation. Okay, that's kind of where I think we get to. But what are potentially some of the reasons that people are selling off, that people are uncomfortable with the market? Well, this is a pretty big one. Americans believe the US job market is in a recession. Okay, let's talk about that. Watch out for the 70s TV presenters at the BBC. You got to be careful of those guys. When is the day for the end of the shutdown? I mean, allegedly, maybe we get it tomorrow. I think, has the House got a vote on it or something? Did you see that most of the money win trades is from the platform? Yeah, I said that. Are you winding me up, Tim? Are you actually is that true? Is that actually true? I said he was a plant. I literally said he was a hyperliquid plant about 4 weeks ago. No way. I mean, that was so obvious though, wasn't it? Let's call it as it is. That was so obvious that he was definitely a plant. Anyway, if you control the exchange of the market makers and hold a ton of BTC, you could dump it to yourself and just try and buy it. Yeah, it's exactly what they're doing. Rec retail, why do they give a shit? I mean, that's the reality. Bitcoin decentralization was all about peer-to-peer transactions. Now BlackRock and those poisonous banks have got their hands on it. It's a bit like, we always say, better the devil. That's wild, Tim. That's so, I unfollowed them all because I couldn't be arsed with them. They were doing me head in. I unfollowed them all and muted loads of them because I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered. They were taking too much of my emotion away. Couldn't be arsed with them. Anyway, that is wild though. I knew that was going to be a thing, by the way. So the net share of consumer expectation of higher employment over the next 12 months has matched the peak levels since during the financial crisis. America right now is shitting itself that it's going to see a massive recession, particularly a jobs recession, which we have to be cautious of it. We do have to be cautious of it. And we've been saying this. The debate right now is though, is it a jobs recession because the AI narrative's booming? And we talked about that yesterday. Or is it because the economy's knackered? That's the question, right? That's the question. Wesley, what's going on? Says everything bubble. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a bubble, but I mean, right now, it definitely doesn't feel particularly great. Let's call it as it is. Let's just call it as it is. Which is not good, by the way. Ciao, too big. Good evening. What's going on, Timberary? Not your keys, not your BTC. Exactly, Tennessee. Come on. What's going on, Kev? Good to see you, man. We kind of in a job recession. Yeah, I mean, kind of. It depends how you look at it. So basically, what is a jobs recession? How do you work it out? I know this is going to sound crazy, by the way, but obviously you have broader unemployment, rising unemployment claims, and no hiring, right? Why do companies not hire? Because they're protecting profit margins. Why do you protect profit margins? Because you pay more. So this probably aligns then potentially to kind of push Fed rate cuts, albeit the Fed is almost a bit like, well, we don't really need to cut the market. Look at this. Bear in mind, no one cares about cryptocurrency in traditional finance markets, by the way. But, the S&P 500 rallying again. So while Bitcoin capitulates and absolutely dumps its arsehole out, the S&P pushes about 0.2% up. Silver starting to push back up. Gold now, 4,100. Again, would have been an interesting long trade on that. NASDAQ up very marginally, but is actually up. The DXY, though, which is, I guess, slightly positive, down a little bit here on the daily as opposed to the hour of the Russell as well. So stock markets are up. Like, this is the kind of argument where they get to and say, well, maybe we don't need to cut rates. Markets are like, oh, fucking hell, what do you mean don't cut rates? We're all pricing in like 50 basis points. Now, Stephen Mirren obviously thinks we should cut rate. Stephen Mirren thinks we should just hack like 3% off it. Like, what the hell not? But yeah, so there is definitely a nervousness about the financial markets. The debate right now, and no one's going to know because the government shutdown's again closed, what this is going to play out. But think of this, the highest layoff announcement since 2008, and we'll still have 6 weeks to add more job losses. I guess the biggest question is it because of AI or a crappy economy? Now, and we'll bring this back to the crypto market in just a minute. This probably vote 4 p.m. tomorrow to reopen the government, by the way, just FYI. So the problem you've got a little bit is everything's a lagging data indicator, isn't it? Everything's lagging data indicator. So the minute the government shutdowns happen, so we don't really have any data coming through. So all the stuff we're kind of looking at is like delayed data now, you know, whether we get a really robust CPI data report, who knows? But the problem you've got is you've got a lagging indicator that's telling you there is a problem becoming with jobs. And if there is a problem with jobs, then that's generally why the economy rolls over and ends up then heading into like a jobs recession, bear markets, you know, the stock market's kind of blowing off from the top, all that kind of crazy stuff, right? I do believe XLM will become 10 USD on November 22nd. No, absolutely not. Hope that helps. So this is something we do need to be mindful of. And this is where the Fed has a overarching problem. Now, FYI, by the way, 67.4% believe that there's going to be a rate cut. Stephen Mirren advocates for 50 basis points. Whether we're going to get that or not is a bigger debate. But you can see that actually the jobs layoffs, and don't forget, there's also job announcements, which is kind of like people going, so like this is announcements rather than actual layoffs. So these are companies going, yeah, we're probably going to lay off people. So the Fed needs to cut rates, and they need to cut them quick. What's up? I'm sorry for the random approach. I don't mean to be rude. I got a question. Hey, go for it. Don, ask away. So the reality is that you've got AI booming, which again is going to protect profits, and you have a potential risk on the jobs market. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Uncle Sam bank balance is just about to chuck about $1 trillion back into it. Repo activity down now to about 3 trillion, which generally is kind of in line with where we've been. Problem is that this is going into a very challenging market, and people are going to be like, oh, well, we all thought we were going to get super cool stimulus checks. Scott Bessent's kind of, double back and gone, well, it might be on tax rebates. It might actually just be on some of the stuff we've done. Like, it might not be a check for 2 Gs. People have gone, whoa, what do you mean? Like, I want a check for 2 Gs, bro. What the hell? And that's kind of where we got to a little bit with this. GC in the building. What's going on? How do you think XRP Ripple will do this year? I'm hoping he's going to do very well. The question will be when we get these ETFs this week, by the way, in my opinion. Then we'll see how they go. Stick around because I've got some intel for you guys on that. So, again, we absolutely need to keep an eye on the jobs market. I think this is going to be the big thing and how we are going to play out over the course of it. The bigger debate is, are we in an uptrend, downtrend? Should we be worried? Shouldn't we be worried? Who the knows right now? What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. So again, that's the kind of jobs market. Now, how does this relate back into the crypto market? And why are the freaking markets dumping today? Well, the old pillar of sovereignty, those people that held us up, and the ones that you could always go to and say, I don't feel very good about this market. Please, can I have a hug to make me feel better? The long-term holders, the OGs, the foundation and bedrock of every bull market, they dumped 400,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days. Come on, bros. $43 billion. So we've got another, markets don't like this, right? They don't like it. So again, once the selling cools though, this could absolutely play more positive. The problem being though is if you get so far behind in a race, it almost doesn't matter how fast you then go, you're always still going to lose. If they push the price down so far and retail basically gets completely wrecked, then no one is going to trade these markets and you end up with, yet again, a bullshit bear market, unfortunately. I need to stop cussing, actually. I'm cussing quite a lot tonight, so I apologize. Vern, what is that, Vern? I like it. I think so, Kev. I'll talk about why I think that's coming this week for sure. Stick around. I got some absolute alpha on the channel. So again, this is kind of generally seen as not a good news. Now, what is worth noting is when we have seen significant selling from long-term holders, that has generally been a downtrend in the market, or where we've seen some of the bigger spikes down, this has then preceded bear markets. Again, I'm not wanting to be here going, oh, I think it's going to be over, but we need to look at the data and kind of ascertain it. My line still stays firm, however, break above 109, good news by the end of the week. If at any point we lose 98,000, the 50-week moving average, I'm not telling you what to do, but my point will be, I will be certainly grabbing a little bit of stablecoin, like for sure, just to de-risk. I think it's not a bad thing. The bear market when BTC hits like 60K was like over 2 years. I mean, that's true. We'll talk about the price of BTC in a minute. The bigger debate is how much is going to sell from these ETFs. Remember, it's like it's the old technical terminology, falling wedge. Once one rolls over and starts dumping, the rest will dump because everyone will FOMO panic. That's the problem. But the upside potential is that actually, if you stop selling and people stop selling, then we might actually have a good rally up to the upside. We've seen what happens over the last couple of days when the market starts to push up. So again, worthwhile keeping your eye on that. And I guess the bigger debate will be, well, how do we start to move up? Look at this Coinbase premium gap. Basically, US investors are now selling massive amounts of Bitcoin. That is absolutely aligned to where we sit. Now, as much as, yes, it's a lot in terms of US investors, there's a lot of institutional US companies that have been dumping as well. And we saw that in terms of BlackRock. We've seen that in terms of Binance. So again, we're seeing definite selling pressure coming in. And actually, we're not seeing this reverse. We're not seeing kind of a positive news story. We're not seeing like, oh, well, yes, we saw markets push up, but that really was because markets didn't sell off. And if you understand what I mean by that, then hopefully you guys do. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff right now that may just be, well, look, we managed to push a little bit higher. People are going, okay, I don't think we're going higher. Let me take a little bit off the table. That's fine. Before then, you know, starting to maybe, you know, trend back up. The other thing to think is, that's what we need to understand. And, you know, how do we kind of work that? There's an interesting chart here from Ali Charts giving us a view saying 328 days remain until Bitcoin reaches the market bottom, likely between 38,000 and 50K. That would align to every bear market cycle that we have seen. Now, you could say, well, that means that 2026 is going to be pretty bullish. And yeah, can we ban unknown, please? You can't just come in and spam that. Get a real job. Come on. Sort your life out. Casey, will you do the honors, please, mate? So we do... Oh, I didn't mean to press that. So we do need to be mindful of this. And look, you can kind of be in a world where... you can kind of be in a world where you believe that that's going to happen and you believe it's not. All right. But, you know, if you kind of look at that as a market structure going back all the way to 2015, you kind of go, I don't like looking at this chart, to be honest. I don't like looking at this chart at all. But, you know, sometimes you've got to be objective in life. By the way, just for absolute clarity, I'm not in any way, shape or form telling you right now that gift lit up. What does that mean? Shout out to you, Dave. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I'm in nowhere sitting here going, bear market's here, everybody sell all your coins. It's an absolute disaster and we had the worst cryptocurrency bull market ever. No surprise. Whoa, Vern. Again, we can move a little bit. If the market cycles are different, then we might actually have a little bit more optimistic. And obviously, there is further stimulus. Now, this again could align to, you know, Trump feeling a little bit uneasy about where the market is. Remember, his big selling point in the minute with the whole tariff scenario is, whoa, it's putting a ton of money back into the American pockets. He's saying like now around air traffic controllers, get back to work. You might get a bonus of 10 G's. Where the hell is that coming from? For those that did nothing but complain, took the time off, even though everyone knew that they would be paid in full shortly into the future. I am not happy with you. You didn't step in to help the USA against the fake Democrat attack. Okay. So there's a lot of noise and probably a little bit of, a little bit of unnecessary noise in my opinion. So yeah, crypto update, please. Good traders here, man. Anyone who tells you that, hey, I'm a great trader is a fucking liar. Don't believe them. Trade the momentum. That's the best thing to do. Don't try and trade emotion. Trade momentum, trade breakouts, trade retests. All right. That's my view. People will go, oh yeah, boshed 100 million long today. Why? That's been my view. And if you're interested, join the Discord, by the way. We have a free Discord of which you can get involved in. If you want to get access to the premium Discord where we actually have chart analysis, new token launches and everything else, then grab a channel membership, subscribe here on TikTok, and we'll get you added into that group. If you're interested, you don't have to be, but we do have a free Discord. I'd recommend joining it. So this could be pretty interesting as well. The problem you have a little bit here, by the way, let's go on Fairground. My Discord link is in my bio, so go and check it out and join there. The problem you've got here is none of this is going to help with the debt. None of this is going to pay anything off. And all it's going to do is add to the problem, which is a spiraling deficit for government spending, which is not good, by the way. Like, they can't, like, imagine that. They're going to give $2,000 out to every, 200 million people, give a couple of 10 Gs out to 100,000 people. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? Anyway, so I think there's a little bit here where the markets are going, why is Trump so determined to stimulate the market? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, how bad is it? Is there really like this massive jobs recession? Like, should we be panicking? Like, what's the jobs reports? We don't fucking know because no one's in the government. You're like, the market's kind of gone, screw you. And then, whenever you get max fear in the market, that's when the cunning people go, why don't we just dump $500 million worth of Bitcoin? Let's see what happens today. Anyway, I'll take $1 million and be comfortable for now. I mean, that's true, Nadar. DGB, any good? Dunno. Remind me in about 12 minutes time, and I'll take a look at it on the charts in the second half of the stream where we take your questions and look at the DeFi market. So get involved. Okay. So with all of that being said, and with all the kind of slightly more painful announcements, obviously, I don't know if you've seen as well that China are going to go after the US because allegedly all that $1 billion worth of Bitcoin they took off that weird scam group, they've like gone, oh, yeah, that's ours. And, oh, they were a government-backed organization that was sent to scam you. It's like, okay, cool. Cool, China. Great idea. That feels like absolutely working better together, doesn't it? Like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, what? Anyway. Gotta love the drama of crypto life. Chris Mayweather, you know it, baby. Yeah, exactly. So, with all of that, there is some positives, all right? Logitech will say, what's up, big man? What do you think about the alt bleed? Will it patch up during the week? I mean, I hope so. We've just been talking about it for the last, 20 minutes or so. It's not great. I think a lot of it sold off because Bitcoin sold off, and Bitcoin sold off because, BlackRock's dumped loads of Bitcoin. They don't look like they're going to dump tomorrow, so that might be good news. But there is some positive news out there. It's hard to find, but there is. Look at this. First XRP ETF is almost here. I think it is launch day on Thursday, right? So let's see what you guys think. When do you think the XRP ETFs launch? Tomorrow? Thursday? Friday? Next week? Oh, why has it done that? Oh my God. Come on. Friday and next week. Right, give me a view. Give me your thoughts. Liam, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Evening 2-bit. What's going on, pal? What's going on? Tap the like button. Yeah, I don't think we're getting to 65,000, but yeah, will XRP dump after launch? Maybe a little bit. Songbird being my biggest disappointment so far. Still even, but 3 years of holding. Wow, yeah, that's a long time holding. So, Canary Capital filed its Form 8A, the final step before approval. The XRP ETF launches Thursday at market open. Bullish. Now, we think, okay? Now, the reason why we think that is, if you didn't catch my XRP video earlier on today, which I highly recommend doing, because for some reason, all the XRP audience have just stopped watching my XRP videos, but it's fine. We're still going to push it out because there's some good content in there. But if you look at how the general rule of these markets work, in particular how they list ETFs, I'm just going to show you with possibly one of the most technical diagrams I have certainly ever put together. And if you've never seen this before, you might want to make your screen a bit bigger because this is possibly one of the most technical drawings I've ever done in my entire life. Okay, this is how ETFs generally list. They register with the SEC, and basically SEC say, yep, you can get involved. You then get the DTC setup, which we talked about yesterday, and we know that those XRP ETFs are fully on the DTC setup. And then you get seed capital creation, followed by exchange listings and first trade. So I actually talked about this yesterday. We did find two rather large XRP transactions in the $150 million range, which could be the fact that some of these are going to be seeding these ETFs. Now, we're looking for probably another 3, I think, but that kind of aligns to listing that. Once you seed them, generally between 1 and 3 working days is when you actually get a listing of those ETFs. So my view, for what it's worth, by the way, what's going on, 37? Good to see you, man. My view is that, yeah, I think we get them Thursday. 60% of you guys feel exactly the same, with 8% feeling tomorrow, 12 Friday, 20% next week. I'm going to leave that open. So absolutely stick a vote on it and see what you think. But this could be good news, by the way. Now, just to give you some idea of what this could look like, these are the Solana ETFs right now. $600 freaking million are now in the Solana ETFs, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. 2 weeks ago, this is how the performance is looking. Total net assets for Sol ETFs reached nearly 600 million. Now, if you saw my XRP video, the CEO of Canary Capital talked about their expectation is between 2 and 3 times what we've seen on Solana. So then you say, well, that's about $1.6 trillion, sorry, $1.6 billion going into XRP ETFs by the end of this week. $1.6 billion would be at least half of that purchased on the open market to put into the ETF. So, you know, we might be about to see a pretty interesting move on XRP. Again, worth noting though, Solana hasn't really moved and it's actually down 6% worth than most of the other altcoins. So just because we are actually going to get this move doesn't necessarily therefore mean we're going to get this kind of crazy price rally. But with ETFs coming in, again, we have to be mindful that yes, this is great news. Yes, they're going to buy more. Yes, Wall Street's going to get access to lots of altcoins. However, they also then have their hands around your kahunas and they can literally rug pull the market as they see fit. So we do need to be mindful of this. But again, pretty bullish and fingers crossed it will boost the market. Jesus, I'm old. How I'm 75 XP on your purple crown thing. What is OG baby gang? Well, that's it resets every live stream, so it's basically to get you guys to chat a little bit more because I get statistics as we're talking. So chat rate tonight so far is 2, which basically means no one's talking in the chat. Sounds like the top of the market news. I mean, I don't want to say it, but there's a lot of things right now that are queuing up for the bear market. It's not there yet. They've not got to the front of the line, but there's a lot of things queuing up that, you know, once they get that ticket for the bear market, they're in. You need to be mindful of it. Okay. We also saw the third largest weekly outflows on record, $1.73 billion in capital out of Bitcoin and Ether ETF. So again, you don't have to take my word for it. The data actually speaks for itself that we are significantly seeing outflows of ETFs that we haven't seen before. Billions of dollars are now exiting those ETF products. Now, the thing you've got to ask yourself, is it short-term selling or is it more than that? And that's the biggest debate, isn't it? Is it short-term selling with nervousness in the market, or is there something broader? Now, the fact we're holding 102,800 is, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but if you think we were at 107, it's not great. It's not great, but think about it. In terms of traders, by the way, obviously everybody likes to find the top trader. Though, I mean, for some reason, everyone still thinks that James Wynn knows what he's talking about. And equally, some people still think the whale that sold the Trump short news on the tariffs is like still here and is still 100%. The guy got liquidated about 3 times, but sentiment is still relatively bearish with 59% of people trading short versus 41% trading long. What's interesting is you've got a couple of interesting P&Ls, the worst one being around $2.17 million down, which I think is one of the like allegedly Trump insider wallets, whatever it is. But they're actually long on Ethereum for 32.15, so in a nice little profit here. Short on Aster and KPP and long on Dogecoin. So not really anything too Bitcoiny as an example. You've got another one here that's about 8.81 milli. So again, not super crazy, but again, long on Bitcoin from 104. So, you know, some people are still pretty bullish. A lot of these, though, are older trades that have been around for a while. So you can see this one was a long from 11. So this is a wallet that opened up on Hype today. The Bitcoin trade is like way back here. So these are all kind of like all sort of coming in right now. So, and Deucer in the building. What's going on, pal? What's going on? Whatever happened to Marbit? Marbit's got, did I not message you? Marbit's got not necessarily insidered, but basically a couple of people that had ill intentions for that project. Not me, by the way. Ended up with a large supply and just continued to dump on the project all the way through. And even so much so, they actually used a bridge connector so you couldn't track their wallet. So to track their wallet, you had to go through 2 different blockchains and through a bridge protocol to find them. But guess what? We found them. So the view was, look, let's move to something different. Let's try something different. And airdrops will go to all those holders that still have their Marbits tokens. You had to fill a form in the Telegram. If you didn't, send me a message and we can sort of sort something out. What I would advise you to do is go and check out www.rektrabbit, that's REKTRABBIT.com, and stand by. That's what I would say. But yeah, obviously I've chatted with you on TG. So yeah, check out retrabbit.com. Get ready. But if you still hold your Marbits tokens and you had, did we not? I feel like I messaged you on. Yeah, I did message you. Yeah, I thought so. Back August 7th. Not sure if I get the chance to see if my transaction went through. But yeah, was that? I think that was you sending it because I put. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Message me in there. Message me in there. If you haven't sent your tokens to the wallet, then send them to the wallet and we can sort you out. But yeah, send me them across. Again, the most important weekly close this Sunday. Yeah, well, I said I want to see above 107, 108,000 to see and confirm the breakout. We'll see. So, what else is going on? US and China now arguing again over a secret season of $13 billion in Bitcoin. This is from that Lubian Bank hack. Basically calling it a cover state. China are like, whoa, hold on. Like, we knew about this. Like, where the hell's our, like, $13 billion USA? What's going on? Whereas the USA are like, oh, what are you talking about? $13 billion? Don't know what you're on about, mate. Don't know what you're on about, mate. I haven't seen anything to do with $13 billion. What? Prince of Block says, I'll send you a message 2 bits on the wallet issue. On the wallet issue? What wallet issue? Was that J2bit he was asking about today? As in Crypto J? I don't think so. No. I don't think so. Apparently, I think another 2bit just joined the live stream on TikTok, by the way. So be careful, people, because it's not me. All right? It's not me. Okay. So just giving you a bit of an idea, by the way, just FYI, the US government now owns $34 billion in Bitcoin. What the hell, bro? What the hell? I see the Crypto Queen got jailed. Oh, really? What is it? Not WorldCoin. What was it called? Hey, 2bit imposter, how are you? Yeah, I'll invite them to the live stream. I can't remember what she was called now. Was it called WorldCoin or something? I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway. Also worth noting, by the way, something we've been talking about for ages and ages. Uniswap price go parabolic due to supply shock. Why is there a supply shock? The rumor mill is that they are about to turn rev share on, which is insane. All right, let's just call it as it is. The view is that, yeah, Uniswap could start to rev share and potentially give back to people holding the coin, which is kind of wild. So you've got depleting numbers of Uniswap and then potentially this, this kind of protocol fee discount auction, which could then start to feed back into those holding Uniswap tokens. Again, could be crazy. You can see here, look. Beyond headline burns, the crux is whether the economic flywheel can be sustained without degrading liquidity provider economics. Historian Uniswap governance is to wrestle with a fee switch designed to trade off against the risk of determining LPs and pushing out for flow. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. Could be good news. Right, Bitcoin is pushing down again, 102,697. So yeah, this is like, we're just gonna dump the market to oblivion. Like, you guys made a bad decision. Jesus Christ. I think I've closed that window down, which is kind of annoying. So yeah. Oh, look at that. Casey getting on with the blockchain. Love it, bro. Love that shit. Get him, Casey. My wallet address that was sent was recently hacked. Oh, did you message me on? Yeah, you said you sent me a Solana wallet address. Marbits was never on Solana. So the only thing, you need to send it from an account that I know. Otherwise, it just gets weird. It just gets weird. Because it's really difficult to then predict it. So, yeah, message me. I can't remember where you messaged me. Don't message me on TikTok, though. Message me on, like, Telegram or X. Does that work if you're holding Uniswap in an exchange? Historically, my understanding is exchanges just take the money. That's my opinion. From what I've seen before, exchanges just basically take your cash and they just take the fees, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, market definitely selling off. And his, call me superstitious, call me whatever you want. Massive amounts moving from Coinbase. Look at this. USDC, Bitcoin, crypto.com sending $4 million worth of Bitcoin to Wintermute, Binance Deposit. Like, telling you, it feels off. If tomorrow ends a shutdown, I hope ETF launches Thursday. Fingers crossed, let's hope so. I mean, you guys are bullish on 60 votes for Thursday, so yeah, let's hope we get it, which would be great news. By the way, just a quick FYI, if you haven't already hit the like button, absolutely give us a like. I'd appreciate it. Tap the screen here on TikTok as well. Also, give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. And if you could like and comment on some of the videos, that would also be great. I know I'm asking a lot, but if you could, that would be fantastic. Oh no, that's not her though. Yeah, no, that's the one. That's the one that US and China's arguing over. That they're saying that she was like some Chinese government person or something. So yeah, but I am aware of that one. I am aware of that, which the government just stole basically, which is kind of wild. Thoughts on Zebek network? I mean, you know it's bad when Zebek's dumping as well. Look at that. Well below the 50-week moving average. If I was very bearish, you'd argue that's probably going to come down and retest the 200 exponential moving average, which, I mean, it's not great, but you know, the market's trashed right now again. Like, it's super wild, super wild. But yeah, my major point at the time was not this year, later 2026. Fair enough. Chris, that's TGE approximate time. I thought you meant October 26, 2026. Did you see that Michael Burry put in a huge short on AI stocks, I believe, that week or two? The big short. I mean, the stock market's overvalued because it's built upon company valuations, and it should be built upon company valuations. It should be built upon profit, shouldn't it? Please be bullish. Look, I've been neutral now for a couple of weeks. I just flipped between, like yesterday I was neutral bullish. Today I'm neutral bearish. Do you know what I mean? I think there's still a lot playing out. This 102 is still okay. I think my view though is it's just not great. And actually, if my theory was playing out, okay, if my theory was playing out on, you know, my analysis of what we did here, then this isn't unusual that we generally see a push down. If you look back here, so we saw the candle break below this. The difference is that we're not seeing anything push back to the upside. This is just dumping. So the momentum right now is like that. It is absolutely down. And hopefully we get, you know, an element of reversal. Man, that's the worst thing. Hopefully we can get some sort of element of reversal. That'd be nice, because that would give us a little bit more optimism. But there we go. So yeah, that is, you know, for me, that is absolutely where we sit right now. Is just down. It's just down. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be permanently down, but if this theory is going to play out as we looked on the charts the other day, we need to start to see a wick at least start to form. For example, if you look here, what happened? Obviously, we got that sort of sell. We got the big push up as we were talking about the other day. I don't know why my mouse does that. It's kind of annoying, really. But anyway. And then obviously we now see this kind of push back down. So again, the wick came to here. So it came down to the body candle close of the previous candle, you know, before then, you know, sort of pushing back up. In theory, if we were going to get that, we need to see it happen relatively soon. We need to see the market stop selling off. Just what it is. Prince Box says, Wreck Melt Face says, you know it, baby. Get ready. Like I said, if the market continues to dump, then look, we're probably in a world where we might just sit tight. But yeah, keep your eye on it. If you're a Rabbits holder and you've sent those tokens in, you will be airdropped out those as well. So yeah, definitely check out wreckrabbit.com. Worth it. The big thing about today, though, that which definitely isn't great, is like, obviously altcoins are just absolutely shit in the bed. I'm peeking on the fourth FVG and the fourth triangle break now in the retest. Let's go. We've got a monthly FVG also. Bullish. Hey, thanks for the follows, everybody. Lots of people following it. So thank you, Wilma. Appreciate the follow. Get it, Wilma. Let's get it, Wilma. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Sorry, everybody. The other thing to debate right now, and I tweeted this out, by the way, I was like, I hate the CME gap. Everyone's like, oh, the CME gap, baby. The CME gap, which was in here somewhere. Though. So we've definitely closed the CME gap again. So, you know, hopefully we start to see a little bit more momentum, but it doesn't feel like it right now. 4 hour. So, I mean, even if you look on the 4 hour, like, yeah, like that is not a good chart, by the way. That M pattern is generally not seen as a good thing. Now, I guess you could argue and say, you know, where could we come to right now? You know, you've got, that's probably what the line we're going to get to. What's that? 102, 317 there or thereabouts. We could push down to this. This would be resistance turning support. And if we can get that, then fingers crossed we can get a move. You can see here how it acted as resistance. But then became support. And once it became support, we then got the push to the upside. So, you know, we could come down, bounce off this, maybe. Big ask. That's what you're looking at. Yeah. So we could definitely see that. And actually, if you go even a little bit more historic, you can see again where this line became, you know, resistance. When we broke it as support, we got the upside move. So, you know, this is probably quite a key line. Lose this line, you know, you're looking at 101, 280, very weak line. So I don't think that holds very effectively. This is probably this will be a big line to hold right now. 102, you know, 102, 317 there or thereabouts. Example, if you go to the left a bit and then the trend line break, a potential retest. Yeah, well, yeah. So hopefully get it. Crypto is crazy. Yesterday feeling good. Today feeling BR95 is a hard market. Look, that's why this market's not for everybody. And you'll lose more money and make more money than you've ever done in your life. That is the challenge of this market. But at the same time, that's kind of why we love it as well. The same, you know. Hopefully we can kind of just piece together this market. The government shutdown should be a relatively good news story. Should be a relatively good news story. Whether it will be or not, that's the debate. But it should be, you know. Should be. I think the stimulus checks at the minute people see through. So I don't, as much as the initial sentiment was good on that, I think people have gone, this doesn't feel right. Like that, these stimulus checks feel off. So, you know, when stimulus checks feels off, people are a bit like, we will see. We will see. Nothing is lifting crypto right now, Jay. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. Nothing feels super great about it, unfortunately. But at the same time, you know, we've got to be in this kind of world of going, well, look, you're either in it or you're out of it. That's my view. If the shutdown comes to an end and then we can see a pump, maybe. Go with XRP, go Chiles. So, I mean, look, we can hope so. The market right now though, is wild. And again, this brings me back to my first initial point that you've got entities within this market that have the ability to crash prices if they want. Have you ever seen the Chinese like meme on dumping markets? And no one, I don't know if it's true, but let me see. So Chinese trade group dumps Bitcoin. Oh, here it is. I don't know how true it is, by the way. But I mean, a lot of it, Chinese whale dumping Bitcoin, is this what happens without indexes? So I mean, I don't know how true it is. You know, I'd like to think, but again, the Clarity Act fixes all of that sort of stuff. So whether that is true or not, I mean, I could see it being true, definitely. Billy Bob, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Cruz says, no one listens to me. Wow, what's up, Cruz? What do you want? Tell us. Tell me the ways. Cruz says, look at the next pivot point on the 30 and hourly. Oh my God. The next pivot point on the 30 and hourly. I mean, my view is here, by the way. The pivot point's 102, 270, 271. Just by I mean, mate, I think Zcash is, I think Zcash, you're walking into an absolute slaughterhouse right now. I think Zcash is coming way further down than it is right now. Just my opinion, by the way. 477, it's pushing down. We said, didn't we, the blow off top earlier on late last night. We were talking about Zcash and I said, watch out. I think it's coming down. Look at this. Zcash is gone bearish 20-day, breaking below the 200-day. RSI, MACD trending downwards as well. I think Zcash is coming down, baby, and I think it's probably going to come down to about 400, but we'll see. Was that BlackRock? Nah, I mean, look, it's just, allegedly it's some Chinese whale group, but I mean, you could see it happen. Like, when you think about the markets and what the markets do, you could way see that being a thing. Way think that being a thing. I mean, XRP, the pivot point on XRP. Well, the pivot point for me on XRP right now here on the hourly is hitting the 200 exponential moving average, which is at like 238. You want to see a bounce off that. Zcash on sale, Crypto Black Friday, Glenn maybe. So yeah, you want XRP to bounce off the 200 exponential moving average, which we sort of, you know, it's either been resistance or support. Whenever it's been support, it's actually held. We've seen a nice move back to the upside on it. So, you know, generally speaking, good news. Once we go below it, though, it feels very difficult to break back above. Very, very difficult to break back above. So, look, hopefully we can hold on this. The markets, though, yeah, not feeling super, super great right now. But let's hope we get there. Let's hope we get there. It will hit back up to $640. Do you think? Yeah? Zcash. Super bullish on Zcash going to 640, maybe. I hope so. If you're in it, I hope so. I mean, I'm not. I was thinking about trading the long on it, but I didn't bother. Yeah, look on trading view. Are you telling me, is it like an indicator? Pivot points high and low. Okay, let's bring it up. QT comes to an end in December 1st, just looking for that blow off top. That's true. Can we get a relief dump? Damn. Yeah, Logitech, tell us about it. Tell us about it. I mean, what is your pivot point that you're telling me then? Pivot point down here, 224. How big is he looking, boss? Not great. Not great. So, again, this is probably the line we're looking for a retest of. 102, 328. Maybe we get that. Maybe not. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But, yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal, in my opinion. So, we will see. We will see. I don't know what these pivot points are. I don't know if I should. Should I know what they are? Maybe I should know what they are. Legit question, XRP, what price Peeps looking to sell at? Well, I mean, depends if we think the bull market's going to continue or not, in my opinion. Sean, what's going on, man? Welcome in. So, I mean, it depends, doesn't it, right now? 239, you know, is the big debate is the market going to push? I mean, if we close below 109 at this Sunday, I probably will take some profits out of some of these just to protect some capital. Like, there's no reason for me to blindly hold it. We'll see. Should we follow sell on 104 on 106 sell, boss? 104 on Bitcoin. You got to make the strategy that you think is the right one, by the way. That's my opinion. I mean, if we've got Bitcoin pushing back above 106, I'd actually be pretty optimistic about that. So it feels like you'd be selling. I mean, you'd be selling to an uptrend, but again, you got to make the call as to what you want to do on the back of it. But right now, Bitcoin looks weak AF. So this is the crux. This is the big one here. Do we bounce off this 102 line? I do think we push down to it. So hopefully we get the bounce. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get there. By the way, if you haven't already hit the like button, we got 49 likes on this live stream. Please just do me a quick favor. It takes literally 5 seconds out of your time. If you're enjoying the content, you like what you're hearing, give us a quick thumbs up. Don't forget, turn the notification bell to all. Hit the subscribe button. Likewise on TikTok, by the way. If you enjoy it and you are, you're getting some value out of it, just do me a quick favor. Just tap the screen a few times. Lock in a couple of likes. I'd really appreciate it. Make your day feel better as well. Veterans Day sell-off? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I definitely just think it's, a lot of it doesn't really make any sense. I have a limit order ZEC at 401. What do you think? I mean, it could come down that far for sure. For sure. I mean, if I was looking to maybe take a trade on this, I'd be looking at $400. The 50-week moving is at 412. So, generally speaking, if we went down to that range, 20-day exponential moving is a little bit lower actually. So, but yeah, I mean, 400 probably feels pretty solid. I think you should get a trigger at that level if we push down that hard. If we get a reversal, markets feel a little bit more optimistic tomorrow, then we might, that you might miss that. But again, I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't revenge trade on this one. So we don't get a lot tomorrow data-wise. Thursday is when it's all going to get pretty interesting, baby. Thursday, core CPI. Predictions right now. Consensus 0.3. Forecast 0.2. We need 0.15. 0.15 would be pretty crazy in fairness. So I don't think we get 0.15. But if we can just hold as like a normal bog standard CPI that doesn't have any like crazy shit in it, then we should be okay. We'll talk about CPI obviously Thursday night. Obviously, don't forget I am live with Vern tomorrow. Hopefully, you can make it this week on TikTok. So double stream tomorrow night. So get bullish on that. But yeah, inflation rate month over month should stay stagnant. Inflation rate year over year 3%. Again, will probably support the narrative around the Fed. Whether that moves or not, I don't know. You probably want to hopefully get in a slightly more optimistic view of the markets, whether we will get that or not, or certainly an optimistic view of inflation, because that will be the thing that the Fed is all over, and you want to see that kind of a bit more optimistic. So check out Tiber, 2bit the company. They are connected to bailed out Robinhood. Really? Wow, holy crap. Tibbir. Have we looked at that before? Have you told me about that? Lee McGregor says the XRP. What's going on, Lee? Come on, Santa rally. I mean, have we ever rallied in a month of December? I always think December's a crap month. Aren't they? Aren't December's just generally normally bad? Twice time for H and Maxine Wall. Let's see what historically December looks like for us. So historically December's not great, by the way. Negative 3.22%. Mean average And then average is 4.75. So definitely not great. December is not a good month for us. We were red. Bull market's red. Like, December's not a great month. I mean, November is down and starting to turn up to be a shit month as well. So, yeah, remember the last time we had a 2-month, we had October and November were both red, was a bear market. So, you know, we definitely need to be just a little bit mindful as to what's going on. Crypto Chick in the building. What's going on, Crypto Chick? I keep catching your live streams, by the way. But you don't say hello to me. It's fine. I'll not take it personally. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Thanks for the share. Appreciate that. Remember every time McDonald's brings back the... Yeah, did you see that on my video this morning? Did anyone watch that? I'm gonna shield myself just a little bit, right? Don't hate me. I am just going to shield myself in the very, very, very minutiae, okay? So if you didn't watch this one, is it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Hold on a minute. It was... Yeah, it was this one. It was this one. So, yeah, this was... It's over. We're getting reports from Politico and Axios that the US government is back open for business. The 41-day shutdown coming to an end. And now, what does this mean for you? News by Mario Nafal saying breaking 40 days. Was it my example? Oh, no. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry, everybody. Man, this is like super awkward. It must be this one.
Only 50% more market capital.
Hours in the crypto market, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's
get into it. Am I looking at the wrong thing here? Oh my god, this is like super, super awkward now. I was convinced it was on this video.
With the crypto market seemingly continuing its uptrend as more bullish news seems to land.
Remove the lockdown days. I mean, that's true.
Looks like it's about to pass yet again. Then the markets are warming up, and there's some very interesting things going on that could even send us way higher. We still
thoughts on XRP, yeah, pretty bullish.
This week above 109,000, but I want to talk about a massive announcement that is definitely not getting the coverage that you guys need.
What video did I talk about this, by the way? Holy crap. Yeah, I thought it was this. Oh, no, it wasn't. It must have been... must have been this one, actually.
So the weekend turned out to be pretty optimistic. Bitcoin rallying above 105,000 on the assumption the US government will be back open. Well, it may even be back open.
Was it yesterday's video? Maybe.
That could be this week for the... Let's get into it. So at the time of recording this video, the US to a special letter bill for medical insurance.
This is like turning to be the most awkward thing in the world. Okay, it must have been... I thought it was this one. I was convinced it was this one. Oh my god, I don't know. It was the Zebek video. What Zebek video? What the hell are you talking about, you massive chopper? Anyway, I can't find it. But I literally put in the video and I was like, the McRib's back. I mean, you had to be there, I think, for it to be way more bullish than it is. Anyway, yeah, BITUNIX theory, yeah, so far. I just recently put 5,800 CAD into it. What the hell is that? Thoughts on XRP? Oh, right. I mean, yeah, look, I mean, these ETFs should be pretty crazy. So I think, look, if you believe the market's going to continue uptrending, which, you know, you've said, and equally, even if you said, well, the bear market's around the corner, XRP is probably not the worst hold if the market were to push further down. But I mean, 239, that's not a bad price to get in. Beeb says, I watched the McRib. Which one was it? I can't even find it. Anyway, I brought the McRib chart up, which said every time the McRib comes back, Bitcoin price goes up. I don't know how true that is. Gary says, then looks liquidation on the downside. Let's have a look. BTC getting a bounce on the 4-hour FPG, 1 minute stare, 1 minute engulf. Oh my God, we're hitting 500k now. Well, we're on 4 hour. Well, we haven't come down yet to it. But we are starting to give a little bit more back to the upside. So, yeah. Fingers crossed. Right. Liquidation. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, my God. I'm just randomly clicking all sorts of things. That's what I need. That's what I need. So, I mean, there is a little bit building to the upside on liquidity. You know, what's that? About 104's got about 31 milli. You get up to there. So you're talking probably the best part of, you know, 200-300 million by the time you get to 105. But, I mean, that's not super crazy. That's not sort of super crazy liquidity, isn't it? Let's go to the weekly. What does that look like? Is that painting a very different picture? Not really. Probably paints a picture that we can even see further downside. Look at the liquidity now, sat. Longs at 98. The bull market. The bull market make or break. So hopefully we get there. When do you think the crypto market will rise again while there is a lot of positive news at the moment? Well, I mean, there isn't. That's the problem. There is the government open again. That is good news. Outside of that, there's not really anything super bullish right now going in the market. But again, you got to be in a world where you believe that the market's going to go back up. XDC, we touched on that yesterday, down about 1.2%, holding up actually better than most, in fairness. So yeah, XDC looks okay. I never had it, never bought it, but I don't think it's a bad one. The only thing to be mindful of is it's in a pretty big downtrend and has been since kind of mid-July. So be mindful of that. I hope the House vote will suck tomorrow and will be delayed for 1 day so the ETFs will be automatically approved. Ooh, interesting. 15 mil build, 3 soldiers may help us grab the SMAs. Believe, let's do it. Yeah. Week's news stresses me out. What's your opinion? Week's news stresses me out. Well, I mean, I've sort of come to a point now where I feel like the macro still feels pretty solid. The macro actually still feels pretty intact when it comes to this. It's just, we need the Clarity Act getting through to stop all this manipulation. That if we believe that's what's happening, then, you know, they're going to come down on like Binance and everyone like a ton of bricks, aren't they? Like, think about it. So, you know, I think we need to get that through. I think the government back up and again should be good news as well. So, again, just nothing doesn't really make a lot of sense, to be honest. The big narrative is, you know, AI and the labor market. That's the two things, but they're the two things that are counterintuitive to the Fed. AI is pushing stocks to brand new all-time highs. Labor market's weakening. The Fed needs to cut to support the labor markets, but it shouldn't cut to support the stock markets because it doesn't need to. And if they cut too big, then people are going to go, you know, we're bad. Do you know what I mean? We're bad. So... Stephen Mirren obviously is the Trump plan, albeit is kind of a, you know, he's kind of a decent guy. Like I don't really know much about him personally, but I think he's pretty switched on. He believes that there should be a cut in December, which we know is about 67%. And he actually still is advocating for 50 basis points. Like he thinks here, look, he advocated that he's provided the previous two Fed rate open meetings for 50 basis points, half percentage points. No, thank you. I don't want to subscribe. And that he thinks at least should be quarter point easing. Nothing is certain. We could go the data and make it change my mind. And that's the other thing that I think markets don't like the sound of. If the government opens again, we're going to get a shit ton of data. Now, here's the tinfoil hat moment. We all know that Trump's going to know what's going on in the markets before it's announced. Why do you think he closed and didn't allow some of this kind of stuff to come out, right? He's going to know what's going on. They're not going to he's not going to get a surprise reading on CPI or jobs markets. The fact of the matter is they may have just wore out the worst part and now they'll have had 2 months of jobs data to come in, which may counteract each other. ADP report obviously we'll get tomorrow, I think it is, which may give us a view as to where the markets are. Like, they may just be in a world of saying, well, look, we needed to deflect and we had the great opportunity to do it over the course of probably the last, 40 days, month and a half. Now, we know tariffs have sort of driven that, stimulus checks, Maybe people are a bit more like optimistic to what it could look like. But yeah, we'll see. The other thing that Stephen Mirren talked about, which I thought was super interesting, was here. He says, if you're making data for what you are, you're making policy for when the data you are now, you're backward looking because it will take 12 to 18 months for that hit to hit the economy. So if you are cutting rates now based on data that you had previous, it's not good enough because you're just always going to be behind. Hence why Jerome Powell gets that name, Too Late Powell. They've got a front run where they believe the labor market's going to go, and it looks like the labor market's going to the freaking toilet. So that's kind of what they need to get to. So, whether he'll get his own way, don't know. Probably doesn't feel like he will, but is what it is, I guess, is what it is. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get some bullish news, but we'll see. These next 7 days, everyone going to turn bullish? I hope so, Curtis. I'm down for it, by the way. I am freaking down for it, Borowski. I'm down for it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Logitech says, yeah. Yeah, my investing strategy is generally not on the model of praying. It never seems to benefit me somehow. Right, we do have some breaking news tomorrow. Pete, you're going to love this. I don't know why Kanye West has just come up. Kanye, I don't need to see you on my screen. Thank you. Right. It says, Justin, former BlackRock executive, says Ethereum is the infrastructure for Wall Street. Way. Ethereum. I'll turn bearish on BTC drops to 90k. Fair play. Telling you, how do you feel about staking your crypto? I have all of my Solana staked. I also stake Aerodrome Finance. I have staked Ethereum, and I also stake AVAX. I'm pretty bullish on staking. I did stake Jupiter, but I took it out because it's a 30-day on-stake period. If you can get in with 0-day staking, I recommend it. I think it's a good idea. Aerodrome Finance has been a good news story for me for the longest time as well. So I think, and they've started to push their APR back up again. I think it's like 20% or something. What's that now? Oh, 13.5. Get out of here, bro. What? Hi, not many that I got myself, but rather not see red cults. Yeah, I mean, that's true. What about restaking? Is that viable? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Restaking. Wall Street loves paying a high Ethereum fee, so they love it. The fact is, though, that staking may be the big catalyst for Wall Street. Rizanati says bearish. Yeah, I don't think you're on your own. Fear and Greed's at like 26. That's pretty bearish, if you ask me. Pretty bearish. So, you know, again, we gotta just wait and see. Do you mention on my question about Corgi AI? No. What did you ask? I did see it, but I didn't know what it was for. Where did you put it? Oh, there. Corgi AI, would it be worth to get in now until it breaks new all-time highs? I don't know anything about Corgi AI. Let's have a look at it. Corgi AI. So what word? Oh, here we go. What's it on? VVS. What the hell is this? Right. Is this the one, Nadar? It seems as if Powell didn't think AI was going to create as much unemployment. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? This is the coin, Nadar, yeah? Okay, yeah. I wouldn't touch this with your money. That's just my opinion. I would not touch this with your money. No freaking way on this earth. Look at the chart. It's awful. It's awful. $7,000 in volume, $24 million market cap, and it looks like it's done. If you are not in this, Nadar, for the love of Jesus Christ, don't get into it. How low's going Solana? I mean, it's at 155 right now. I have a support line in at around 146. So, man, Uniswap is pumping. Did you guys know that? I didn't realize Uniswap was actually pumping. Because obviously everyone's like, oh, we might get rev share, baby. Let's get it. Where the hell is Uniswap? Where is Uniswap? Excuse me. I'm tired today. Is Uniswap not in the top 100 anymore? That's wild. Oh, it's there. 25th. Yeah, it's up 70%. That is freaking crazy. Nadar said it's kind of too late. Nadar is doing 7k in volume and it's got a chart that looks like it's been rubbed. I've been putting it down. I mean, I would bury it, mate. I would absolutely bury that and would not touch that with a freaking barge pole, bro. Not at all. But yeah, I mean, like I said, fight for fake. That's where I get to. Man, someone looks tired. Someone needs an early night. Yeah, well, early nights are for pussies, Craig. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. The 9 to 5 is hard work at the minute. It's hard work. Oh. But, you know, time waits for no man. But yeah, I'm just looking at myself on TikTok. You're like, what are these? Oh, man, I'm super tired. Anyway, teabags on your eyes for life. Yeah, exactly. Become a crypto content creator and it's even worse because people hold you accountable for losing money. It's like, I told you guys about that random tweet that I got, didn't I? That they then blocked me, by the way, which is a bit disappointing. I don't know where it is. I still have it. I've kept it for sentimental reasons. Man, Man, I don't even know where it is now. Have they deleted me? Oh, bro, what the hell? Oh, maybe they deleted me. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Oh, I think they have, actually. Yeah, can you imagine they believe you're... Yeah, yeah, they believe I'm a market maker. Exactly that. I was trying to find it, but they must have deleted me because the message on... Oh, there it is. I got it. So let me read a message that I got, which was a real nice message, actually. This is from someone that was in the community as well. And they said, tell me, 2-Bit, and answer honestly because I already know the answer. Were you or were you not involved in the boogie pump and dump? Time to start being honest about a lot of things, buds. I think you know what I'm talking about. You also pumped and dumped your own coin. You're like, okay. I put, you couldn't be further from the truth. And if you're going to make accusations like that, then I hope you can back it up, as I would love to see what you've got. If you genuinely think that's the type of person that I am, then it's disappointing that you don't know me at all. Let's see. BitBunny, Boogie, and Marbit all dumped 3 coins you were associated with. Also, saying not financial advice doesn't save you from lawsuits. Boom! Blocked me before I could respond. Like, all right, cheers for that. Cheers for that. Yeah, that makes me feel great. Thank you so much. And I still can't work out who it is. I want to know who it is, by the way, but none of you guys follow them, so I'm not 100% certain what it is. They're called Plays with E, so I don't know. I do remember them, but I don't know who it is. But they only follow like a few people. Austin, Larry. I don't know if Larry ever does anything, by the way. ASMR fans, but yeah, whoever that is, I don't know who it is. But they literally blocked me. They blocked me for some reason. But Momo Army in the house. What's going on, my CryptoSpace UK? But I mean, it's like, oh yeah, let me pump and dump my own coin that I lost about 40 grand on. Yeah, it seems like a cool idea. I'm down for that. I'm 100% down for it. You're like, come on, bro, get out of here. Get out of here. Do you know what I mean? Choppers. Lucas, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All Tim's channels. Yeah, 100%. 100% it's Tim. I know the name. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're definitely a community member, but yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Well, Logitech's market closed now. The traditional markets have, the crypto market obviously isn't. The crypto market looks like ass. Look at it. What the hell is this? Tim's alter ego. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it is what it is. You know, some people get pissed. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Right, let's take a quick look at the pre-markets, specifically for Asia. Look pretty flat. Europe looks okay, actually. FTSE looks like it's going to move up. The US stock market, well, the Dow looks like it's going to go freaking crazy on the pre-markets. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they come in the live stream anymore, Craig. I haven't seen them, if I'm honest, for a while, but can't imagine they'll come in now. Yeah, look at that. The VIX predicting to come down again. And yeah, a little bit. So stock markets feel like they might actually rally a little bit, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. This is the dump before the pump. Curtis, let's hope so. I mean, we've been saying that for a while. The only problem you've got for me is, you know, Bitcoin keeps dumping. It just, I mean, it still doesn't really make any sense, but hey. Nothing ever makes any sense, unfortunately, in this game. Sometimes you just got to ride the rough with the smooth and hope we come out the other side of it in an okay place. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. Shake the likes, folks. Fairground knows what's up. Let's get it, Fairground. Fun to sleep knowing you're bleeding. Yeah, isn't it just? Isn't it just? You're like, oh, I love being down 10%. I love being, like, it's not even like 2%. Like, okay, I just love being 10% down on coins for no reason. Like, for no reason. You're like, why the hell is the market dumping? Oh, well, don't really know. Like, just is what it is, isn't it? Like, who cares? See what it looks like after we wake up tomorrow. See what it looks like when the market's open. See what Asia bought last night. And then, like, India and a few others dumped. UK, Europe dumped. And then the US finished us off for an absolutely naff disaster day. So I'm just going to go. I'm in a bit more of a chilled vibe right now. We're just chatting. TikTok. We're just vibing. I don't know if I could lean back. What do you reckon? Just like super vibe here. But this is how they do podcasts, isn't it? If you've been in crypto for a long time, you will have seen dumping, but mainly right. I mean, yeah. I mean, the macro trend, Jay, is still pretty solid. Macro trend's still pretty good, but I reckon I could do a podcast if I ever like if I ever actually stop doing my normal job and make this like my full-time job. I'd definitely run a podcast. It'd be cool. Who would be the first person? Tim Shea feels like a good person to have on it. Remember we were going to do that. I sleep better knowing my money is just getting more inflated than normal. Yeah, I agree. I thought you were supposed to buy Bitcoin, never sell it. Don't sell your Bitcoin, everybody. Don't sell your Bitcoin. That is worth it. It depends whether you're a retailer, big institute trying to manipulate the market. That's true. What AI coin is worth getting into? I mean, it depends, doesn't it, really? It depends what you're looking for. I mean, there's a few, like Near Protocol was doing pretty well recently. I mean, you could argue that Fetch may be a bit of a gamble, but might actually turn out to be, a great choice given how low it is. But yeah, I mean, that one could be an interesting one. Aethia, albeit feels like it's way, way down right now. So I wouldn't necessarily throw you at that one. Belladix was pretty good. I don't know if you've looked at that. Belladix was one I called out for October. Had a decent move in October. It's up 3% today as well. How's the 10K bag go? Did you? No, we still got it, mate. Yeah, it's at about. We're not far off 100 grand now. Yeah, we just traded loads of meme coins. It's at like $85,000 or something like that. I think it is. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good actually. It's not really. It's at 4,400. It's absolutely garbage. It's absolute garbage. But I mean, look, the coins were in it pretty good. The coins are in. I mean, this one, I'm bullish on this, by the way. USDT. I'm absolutely super bullish on USDT. Let's go, baby. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Agree with Fett. Great price. Yeah, I mean, you cut you to steal right now. I mean, it's up a little bit, isn't it? It's up a little bit. 61% on the week. But yeah, debatable whether it has got some mileage to come back, I guess. But yeah, there's some low disk space. You're running out of what? You're running out of disk space. Why am I running out of disk space? I need to delete some stuff. Empty recycle bin. I don't know what's in there. 36 items. Keep me hanging on. Ooh. You're using floppy disk still? Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I just have loads of crap on this computer. How much space have I got here? Properties. 5 gigabytes free on that drive. 26 gigabytes free on that drive. What the hell is it talking about? 258 gigabytes free on that drive. What the hell is it talking about? What's it talking about? See? Gold is a better store of value, Curtis. I mean, that's true. Need a bull run, Chris. I know that feeling. Dusty's filing for it as well. Let's get it, Dusty. I'm down for a freaking bull run. Down for a freaking bull run. Let's hope we get it, baby. Let's hope we get it. Fet or Fetch AI. Yeah, they're the same thing. Upgrade the hamster wheel. Yeah, I need to. I miss using old technology, floppy cassettes, VHS. Yeah, that was the days. Man, it's like, don't you think, remember not having phones? I mean, like, kids of today, my little boy, he's not even 6 yet, and he was like, can I have an Xbox for Christmas? You're like, no, you can't have an Xbox for Christmas. I was like 14 when I first got my first games console. You could piss him well wet. We can't go out like this. I agree, Beebs. I agree. Like I said, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and she's not singing just yet. So there is definitely still time. Whenever there is optimism in the market, there are buyers, and whenever there isn't, there are sellers. So, if you think about it that logically, it still should be fine, in my opinion. Right, everybody. We have been live now for nearly an hour and 20 minutes right now. So bullish on that. I'm going to get up and get out of here. As always, thank you so much for watching the videos and equally joining me for the live stream. Do let everyone know, by the way, that we're here. Share the videos out. Share the live streams out. Would be massively appreciated. And like I said, really does help the channel. And if I have an ambition of ever not doing my 9 to 5 and becoming way more involved in this market, then I absolutely support or need your support with it and appreciate your support that you give. So until tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time, don't miss it. We'll be back with all the latest in the crypto market. Until then, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day. Look out for some content coming soon, and I'll see you in a bit.